Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. It's first of all, let me thank the Treasurer for admitting that the carryover shortage from last year, including the shortfall this year, is about 3.5 billion. So perhaps he could confirm that for all of us in his response, number one. Number two, as he knows, most provinces, including East Sepik, have not, and I believe Chimbu provincial government has shut down operations. And I note from the communications on the governor's WhatsApp group that I think all provinces haven't received their funds. East Sepik hasn't received any money since May last year. So that goes to the, it's been 12 months now, we haven't received any budgeted government funds. So assuming that all provincial governments have not received any funds, this points to a deeper problem. I'd like to ask the Treasurer if the work that is going to go into the supplementary could begin in earnest, and if so, when can they do it? Because this is not just a problem for the government, it's a problem for the country, Mr. Speaker. So as such, they can't keep it under wraps while we all send text messages to one another and complain on our little forums about these financial problems. It needs to be brought to light, perhaps brief everyone as to the full gravity of the situation. The Treasurer did mention the FBO, and I remind him that by law, that report is supposed to come out in March. It is now May. So obviously there are some serious problems that are delaying the release of the final budget outcome. And I just want to ask the Treasurer whether the problems are with budgeting or whether the problems are with cash distribution out of finance. And therefore, again, Mr. Deputy Speaker, emphasizing the need for full transparency on the part of government as to the true financial situation of our country. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Treasurer?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker, and I want to thank the Governor for his comments. And firstly, respond by saying that this government, the Department of Treasury and Finance, are not withholding any information, Mr. Speaker. We're not deliberately hiding any information from this Parliament or the people of this country. As I mentioned earlier, if you can allow me to table a detailed statement on the FBO, and from that report, you'll get a lot more detail than rather than for myself reading some ad hoc numbers. But just to clarify, Mr. Speaker, whilst the government has been slower than normal to release funds to our provincial governments, it's really not a reason for us to, for example, close down our office, as the Governor mentioned, with Chimbu provincial government. Whilst I wish I could have supported them a lot more as we have in previous years, I saw no reason why if I understand it correctly, the office of the Governor had closed his office, purportedly, as I understand it, for a lack of funds. But my report dated 31st of April, that's the infamous report, the same report that you all use, that we use, confirms that there is 16.6 million kina still in his operating account. So I'm wondering why they're doing that.
The point of order is quite simple. Could the Treasurer, I mean, as the Treasurer knows and the Finance Minister knows, these funds are issued for different purposes. You have what we call functional grants, which are used for administration. You then have your SIP funds, which are either DSIP or PSIP, and sometimes some lucky provinces and lucky districts pick up what we call PIP funds. Now, these funds, if they are to be utilized for operational purposes, that would constitute a misappropriation of funds on the parts of those who are expending those funds. So if the Treasurer could clarify whether these funds he is talking about are specifically for function grants, if not, if they are for other purposes like SIP funds or if they are for PIP, whether himself or the finance minister could use their Section 4 powers to then allow the provincial governments and the districts to reapply those funds so that they are not misappropriating them. Thank you, Mr. If you could clarify that, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I mentioned, I will clarify that when I get given the opportunity. I'll include that in our FPO report, but certainly we'd be prepared to use our Section 4 transfer authorities to assist us further with that. But again, I would stress that, and given a high-level response, whilst we're waiting for more funds to be released, there appears to be sufficient funds, Mr. Speaker, still held out in the provinces. For example, our provincial government operating accounts, the high-level number is, as of 31st of April, we have 1.3 billion kina held in our accounts, and I'm happy to detail the breakups of those in our FBO statement. And whilst I'm at it, with our DDA operating accounts, we have 864 million. If you add all the other operating accounts, we have a total of 3.1 billion kina held in the province.
With due respect, Minister, the Governor for Sepik has asked you a very important question. He said he was not receiving, I suppose, PSIP or maybe DSIP or other funds that is budgeted for by the government which passes through this parliament. And like anyone else in this country, any province in this country, the Sepik provincial government should have received those. And 1 year, they have not received. And we want to know, what happened? We want to know what happened. And you answered the question.
Honourable Governor, I think the Treasurer has made reply on that, so I'll allow the Treasurer to continue on and reply to the answers. Question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And to clarify the Governor's question, I did confirm that I would, given that opportunity when I table the FBO statement, I would detail that data. But just giving me a few minutes to go through it in relation to East Sepik, provincial government, we issued warrants for 10.7 million kina, which represents 16% of your budget. I know the timeline's 39%, but we're trying to get monies out to you as we had discussed, so you should keep working. And of that amount, I'm waiting to answer his question. Was it a warrant issue or a check issue? The warrants have gone out, so it appears now I'll leave it up to the Department of Finance to answer his question. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.